Okay. So this is meant to be a video response to Graveyard Girl, actually. Um, Sorry that I probably sound a little weird. I'm not feeling too good, but I thought I would share this since I've been watching a lot of her uh, sorry, my brain's a little slow. I've been watching a lot of her Civil War and paranormal stuff lately, and I wanted to share one of my uh, most incredible experiences that I've ever had. And I was kind of hoping that she'd eventually see it, and I know it probably sounds really weird, but I thought she'd like the story, so I'm going to share it. Um, so, back in 7th grade, I went with my school to see Jamestown and um, to see Gettysburg and to see Washington, D.C. and like a whole bunch of other places. And it was just like a bus trip with all of us. And it was really fun, actually. I loved it. Um, I hadn't been feeling well then either, actually. Um, and I went to Gettysburg um, with the belief that I wasn't special enough to have any sort of experience. Um, but when we were walking around the field where the battle had taken place, I had felt like someone was staring at me. So I turned around, and there was a man who was standing there who was wearing the gray uniform, and he had a sling around one arm, and it looked like he had been shot in the arm. And I thought, me being 7th grade, you know, I know everything. Mind that most teenagers have that they shouldn't. I believed that he was like a reenactor, just hanging out around the battlefield because that's what reenactors do, right? So I walk over to him, and this is an area of the battlefield where there's really no like big hills or trees or places that someone could feasibly hide. So he just kind of stared at me for a while, and then he held his hand out, like just like this. And so I put my hand out, thinking he had something he wanted to show me. And he dropped into my hand these two little bullet casings. And these weren't the kind of bullet casings most people think of. They weren't like the metal shell or anything like that. They were like the old, you know, Civil War, like the paper and the buckshot and stuff. I don't know what's actually in there, but it was like the gunpowder in like the paper-ish casing rather than like a metal casing. Um, and he like dropped that in my hands, and so I turned to show one of my friends, and I was like, "Oh, look at what this guy just showed me." My friend looked at me like I was crazy. So I turned back around to give them back, thinking, these look old, he probably wants to keep them, and he was gone. Now I know I probably stated this before, but he was in the gray uniform, which is the uniform of the Confederacy, so the South, for those who don't know that kind of information, and that happens. Um, and he had just simply vanished. He had never said anything to me. He had simply handed me the bullets, and when I looked down in my hand, they were still there. But this man had simply disappeared. There was nowhere he could have been hiding. There were no dips that he could have laid down in that I wouldn't be able to see him. The trees were too far away for him to have run and hidden behind them by the time I had turned back around. So there was nowhere for him to be hiding. He was just gone. And I gave the bullets to, there's like a little museum that they have there, and I gave the bullets to one of the women who was working there. Um, and I don't know what came of those. They may still be there, or she may have just gotten rid of them thinking I was crazy or what. But they seemed to be authentic to me. um, and I was very shaken up by that. And then when I went home, I asked my mom about, you know, because I'm adopted, I asked my mom about where my birth mother was from. Turns out she's from the South. So, I don't know what to make of it, but a Confederate soldier handed me bullets at Gettysburg, and my genealogy traces back to the South. So I like to think that maybe this was someone I'm related to, or someone that knew my family way back when, my birth family. And it's actually one of my most treasured moments that has happened to me in my life, um, because the paranormal has always been something very close to my heart and something that's been very important to me as a person, and something that's been very fascinating to me. So I just wanted to share this with you guys, and I don't know if anyone's going to like it or what, but I'm just going to put it out there and hope for the best. So yeah, bye!